I might ask her, where did we land? 'Cause like, how did we make it? I'm
Yeah.
just closing my eyes and I'm hoping and prayer right now.
Yeah.
With air in my lungs, I scream from the sky. I'm alive and breathing on a steady beating. I told the dark that I had survived. Demons couldn't take me. I am awakening.
Welcome back to my channel. I'm Alex Alicia, your host of The New Rock Show, and tonight I am joined by one of my genuinely favourite rock vocalists, and of course, the band EVA Under Fire are back with brand new music for us, and I'm so excited to talk to me all about it right now. Is the incredible Amanda, aka Eva Marie. Hello!
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. This is what an incredible introduction. Thanks for having me on the show. And yeah, finally we released new music. I'm so stoked that you are into it. Thank you.
Oh, I've been into it for a long time, let me tell you. And I'm not even like, just saying that. I play music on the show. And when I saw that you were back, I was so, so excited. And you're like, yeah, like there's so much going on in your Bandcamp right now. Cannot wait to talk to you all about it. First of all, though, just before we do get into everything, are you still in like Michigan right now? Is that where you're at?
Yes, I'm currently here at the Eva Under Fire headquarters. We are putting together all of our rehearsals, and we've definitely been like jamming the new song Awakening, and kind of like going through and learning stuff for. We've got a tour coming up that we leave for on Sunday with our friends in Buckcherry. So
Mhm.
we've got new merch that we just ordered that we came in the other day. Ed, our bass player, brought it over, and so we just stockpiled everything into. We're still a garage band, so we jam in my garage, and so we've got everything all loaded up, ready to go for this. We just had our last rehearsal yesterday, so
Okay, so it's all coming at us, and I'm so excited. I'm excited for you, and it's just such great
thank you.
news, and it's wonderful that you are back. And like I say, so much to get into. But yeah, obviously as well, you're in the US. I know that US lovely lot are into a spooky Halloween season. I am very much into spooky season. I've got some ghosties
I see
behind
that
me.
with your ghosty. I was like, oh my gosh, no way.
But the
So
thing
fun.
is, right, this is all year round for me. It's permanent Halloween decor at my house. But I just wondered, are you a spooky lover like me? I mean, you give me the vibes, so.
I am, yes. I think most of us in like alternative culture probably also very much spooky lovers.
Yeah.
I am a little bit of a wimp, I have to tell you though. I am not a like scary movie fan. Like I can do slasher films, like
Yeah.
old school slasher films. But beyond that, I'm very afraid of aliens, demons, and zombies. So I feel like all of that is pretty much not not made for me. But I do love the ghosties and the pumpkins and the dressing up and the
Yeah.
vampire sort of stuff. And yeah, so I'm into all that.
Yeah. The fantasy spook. Tim Burton's brilliant for
Yes.
that.
Yes, absolutely.
Me too.
Absolutely.
I
Yes. Very
definitely
much Tim
relate.
Burton style.
Yeah, I relate for sure. But yeah, before we do talk about like the tour coming up with Buckcherry and the new single and the album that's coming, I just want for anybody who's like maybe watching, listening to this, if they didn't already know, like you have been working away very, very hard in this industry for a long time. I mean, I know you were in bands and projects before you were under fire as well, and you've been doing this for such a long time. It's been a big part of your life, and with that being said, like right now, today, if I said to you, what does music mean to you and what is your relationship with music right now? What do you think you would say?
It is my personal therapist. Like that is where I go to
Yeah.
write all of my stuff. It's like a journal for me. And I think because I feel things so intensely, and I think most artists would probably agree that they feel things very intensely, that's where I can write it in a story. It might be a character of sorts, but it's always a part of me.
Mhm.
It's whatever version of me that appears in that moment. So I think that's actually what this new record ultimately ended up being. It's my own personal villain character arc.
I love that. I mean, what a great
Yeah.
description and what a great intro into Awakening, which is your brand new single. Congratulations, the new era. It is here. For anybody who hasn't listened to it yet, what are you doing? Go and listen to the brand new Eva Under Fire single. It's incredible. Your heaviest yet as well. You're
Yes.
definitely going bigger. larger, everything's grander. Like what thoughts and feelings come to mind with this single? What's heavy on your heart with that one right now?
It's funny that you say heavy on the heart. That was the original title for our very first EP before we got signed, and then it
No.
became the Love, Drugs, and Misery album. Yeah. So good for you. You didn't even know.
What the
But yeah,
heck?
we've always written about mental health. A lot of my lyricism comes from the things that I've been through,
Mhm.
and our first album we wrote pre-pandemic. So like we've been through a lot
Mm.
since that whole era. So this new era is definitely about, we've been through some things. We've gotten angrier, we've gotten more aggressive, we've gotten more, we've been through our own personal struggles
Mm.
in the time from album one to album two. And so I think this was just we need to be more ourselves. We need to be more authentic. And I think in the alternative space, rock fans demand that of
Mm.
artists, right? And I love the first album. It was our very first professional, experience, but it felt very watered down, and it felt very like too many cooks in the kitchen were trying to tell me what to say and what to not say, what was allowable and what was not. So I think that was more of like a cleaned up version of who I was. And I didn't want that on this record. The one thing that we walked into the studio with, and I love my guys for this, they were always like, we need more Amanda lyrics on this album. Like, there's no way that we just go in there and we just say, all the things that we're, supposed to say. He was like, we've been through too much to do that. So, I love that was kind of like the pretense, and then we got into a studio in LA, and we were writing with a guy, John London. He's from the band Point North. Wonderful songwriter, and took all of my ideas. I had like this whole list of demos that I brought him,
Yeah.
and I said, I'm really hearing this song like this. And he goes, no, dude, that's the hook. We got to put that there. I was like, oh, all right. And then he grabbed this guitar, and we were thinking, okay, well, we want something that's heavy but still has bounce because we love playing live. And he goes, not that guitar. Here, do this guitar. And it was
Mm.
a baritone. And it was just bow, 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 like so low. We were like,
Yeah.
that's it. That's what we have to do. We have to
Yeah.
do this. We got really excited.
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of the impetus for it really set the tone for the new
Yeah.
record.
There's such a spontaneity in that as well, because like, it seems to me like, you had an idea that like, yeah, you wanted to be so much more authentic. I mean, yeah, you've mentioned you've always been like that in your lyrics though, and you've always like, not been afraid to touch on heavier subjects, raw subjects, and, tell a truth to your audience, which is a scary thing I can imagine to do, but also cathartic for you as well. And, like, yeah, it's not something that you're a stranger to doing, but you've definitely, I can already hear it with Awakening that you've come through bigger, stronger. This is me. This is true to who I am. Like, what did it take in the end to get to that place where you felt like yourself and as a band, you could do that? You could really be authentically you and not shy away from anything or try and, like you say, build a character.
I think we had to establish what we know about ourselves, what we know about the industry. And I think that when we first got to, touring and our first professional experience with album one, we were just learning how to tour, how to portray ourselves, what we wanted to do, how we wanted this to be or that to be. It was so forward thinking. And now that we've lived it and we know who we are, there's no more questions about what we want and what we don't want.
Mm.
Um, I think that revelation, just getting used to it, getting our bearings, getting to know ourselves much better than we did on album one,
Mm.
it was real key to writing this album. So much so that like, Eva came as a song reference. And then when I was standing out there hanging out with people at the merch booth, everybody was asking, are you Eva?
Yeah.
Right. And so that just sort of became like a crown for me that the listeners themselves kind of gave to me at the live show, which I thought was so cool and so important.
Yeah.
But that kind of inadvertently became a character that only was at the shows because no one in my life calls me Eva. So like
Okay.
one of the songs that will be coming next after Awakening is called My Own Name. And that one is me kind of owning these, so now I'm grateful that you say it's Amanda, right? Let's just go by Amanda now.
Mhm.
Everybody can know that Eva's a song reference. It's not really who I am. I'm taking back my own identity, and my own name is very much about that. It's really about like making sure that you don't listen to fake friends and fake people also, right? Like I know who I am in my own story, and I don't need you to co-sign on who I am. Um, so I think that there was so much to this that was kind of like, from the name to the look to the villain character arc to, taking off the all the glitter and the color and the sparkles and the things of, album one was
Yeah.
like shiny, kid in a candy store. And like now we kind of know what the real deal is.
Yeah, it is always a bit of a journey, isn't it, being in the music industry? And I can imagine that, with that, you see so many different, like, versions of yourselves, of other bands that you probably grow up with in this industry too. And yeah, it's a real journey. But with these albums, you're telling this story, and because you're so true to what's going on in your lives and, who you are, I think that's really nice that the fans can like feel that and be on that journey with you through the music, which is really special. Have you found that you get that kind of response and reaction from people?
I do, and I love that so much. Thank you
Yeah.
for calling that out and naming that out loud. Because people that are in the Eva Under Fire like group on Facebook, they're some of the coolest individuals ever. We really they've been with us since day one.
Mhm.
I've gotten to know people and their own personal stories, what it means to them, and like when we're at the shows and we hang out with people at the merch booth, and people are like actually get a chance to hang out and to vibe with us. It's a really important like core idea of the community that we've built is this authenticity. So if I get to do that in my music,
Mhm.
I have found that translates to other people gravitating toward that message when they listen live, or when they listen, period, which is super cool. It wasn't intentional. It was just I'm not, in my own opinion, a great actress. It's got to be true for me. It's got to be real for me in order for me to feel it and to put it out there. And so I think, now that I exist in this space with like social media and everybody just,
Mm.
they gravitate to what is real. They don't want character,
Yeah.
you
That's
know?
true. It is. I'm glad that you brought social media up because, like, that wasn't like on my mind to talk about with you. But I'm just curious from your perspective, actually, as a musician and as a female in the industry, and what is it like at the moment being an artist? Like you've just said, you're still kind of a garage band. Like you still love to do things like old school, like the way that I think the way that it could, it should be. But like, how do you navigate the social media world right now? Because it's really difficult for musicians, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I think the algorithm doesn't know what to do with original music yet on
Yeah.
so many platforms, right? Everybody that I saw this really cool. I mean, she's a really amazing singer. Her name is Undy. I had just come across this profile, but she sings all kinds of covers, and I'm like, oh, girl's got pipes, right? Then I go to her like Spotify, and it's all her original music. She never actually releases the covers, and I'm like, that's very smart,
Mm.
because I think that a lot of people gravitate to what they're familiar with, but it's very difficult to get new music out. And there's so many paywalls now where like if you don't
Yeah.
have the support, like people won't, right? Or a viral moment.
Mm.
So we're always going through trying to figure out what the best way is to organize that. But I have recently just kind of been like, if I can't just have fun with this, I'm gonna lose my mind. So I'll get on there and I'll yap about whatever. I'll tell people about the new stuff. I'll put, we've got like an official lyric video and stuff like that. But like most of the time, I can also just, sing along with the audio of it and put that out, and that seems to work, and people see my face. And
Mhm.
you know I think that if we just do cool stuff in the real world and then tell people about it, maybe it just has to be that simple.
Yeah. Again, authenticity and connection, so important, so key. And I think that, you can tell if something is so genuine. And I've noticed as well with your social media, one of the things I do love is, yeah, the fact that you do come on and you show us behind the scenes of you at like the most like lavish services you've accidentally found on tour. I saw that video. Or, you're just kind of like moshing out to music because you're a music fan yourself. Like I've got Nothing More's brand new vinyl behind me. And I know you went to go see them recently. And just things like that, I think people can really like relate to and go, oh, same.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I love that. I love knowing that translates because
Yeah.
Yeah, I love actually being a part. I can't stand. I mean, we were writing this album for like since January of 2024. So it was a long time where I was just doing videos in this room.
Mm. Oh
It's
yeah.
like I have to leave. I have to get out of here or I'm just gonna lose my mind. Right. So I think in that way I'm very much not an influencer. But I am a musician and I have a lot of really cool musician friends. And so actively when I go and I hang out and I take video and I put it
Mm.
up, it's great. It's a 30-second thing and I don't have to worry about, you know, cutting up the clip or doing, like edits and all these things. I'm like,
Yeah.
I actually live this life and it's so powerful that I love what I do and I'm glad when I meet other people such as yourself that are super into it and also music fans. I think that's all that is needed is just, connecting with other authentic musician fans.
I agree. I hard relate. For
Yeah.
sure. You just mentioned as well, of course, yeah, it's been a couple of years in the making, the new music. And yeah, so we've heard Awakening, the latest single, and there's a video with the lyrics and everything attached to that out there right now, which I recommend everybody go and watch. Check it out, listen to it, buy it, stream it, however it is you get your music. Please just make sure You're Under Fire are on your playlist and on your radar. And I genuinely mean that as well, because Amanda, when I said I think that you're one of my favorite vocalists in rock, you really are at the moment. Like, it's just, it's so powerful, your voice, and I just find what you're doing so incredible and incredibly inspiring and relatable. And yeah, that's just my little moment to you where I'm kind of
Thank you.
fangirling a little bit,
So,
bowing
yeah,
down to you.
I love it so much. That is my only musical talent, so I have to be really good at it. And that's so I'm glad that it worked.
And the
And
songwriting
hopefully,
in there as well. That's your other talent for sure.
thank you. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, hopefully we get a chance to come and tour all over the world. This time we're trying to go bigger, as you mentioned, and go heavier, as you mentioned. And so
Mhm.
maybe when we're in your neck of the woods, we'll have to hang out in person because I just love that so much. Thank you.
Yes, I would love that too. That would be amazing. But yeah, 2 years in the making, the album. So it's coming real soon. We don't have all the deets yet. We don't even have the name yet, but it's all good because we're just going to drag out the teas and then, we'll all be ready for it. um,
If the people are listening to the entire episode here, I did mention the name a little earlier in there. I didn't officially call it the name of the album, but I definitely talked about a certain character arc.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
die hard hardcore fans, let's get you in the comments and see if you can work this out.
Yeah.
What would be the prize? Like top points or something?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But yeah, you're no strangers though to making albums. Your band have made albums in the past, and then you've been working so hard on this other one for 2 years now, the new one. How do you know when an album is done and you're finished and you're ready to share it with the world? Like, are you looking for a certain barometer to measure against? What how do you know? Like,
I'll be honest with you. This is one that we have a very different idea than the people who are the suits behind the project, right?
Mhm.
So we wanted to release it like, I don't know, probably 6 months after recording. We were like, look, we've gotten all these songs. This is the next record. And they're like, cool. But also, we want you to go back in the studio and do all these things. And we're like, fine. Okay. So we go back in the studio, we do all those things, and we go, okay, cool. So here you go. That's got to be like album one and probably half of another album, right? And they're like,
Mm.
yeah, but we still want to see, if we could do, a song like this would be really cool. So it just kept happening like that. Where if we could do a singles format, we would have new music all the time because we are always, I think in that way, we're not like artists where it's got to be like the perfect thing or the right moment or the this or the that. We're very proud of what we do in the moment. And a lot of times we understand that what we do and when we sit down together, it's intentional. So we trust that by the time we write a song, it's the song.
Yeah.
That's what we felt in the moment. We wanted to work that out. We
Mhm.
we wanted that, right? So we were like, well, we would put it out tomorrow.
Yeah.
The suits go. And we have to have like a rollout plan, you guys, and like a marketing strategy. We can't just like have you throw music on the internet tomorrow.
Yeah. But you wish you could. And
I
you
wish
would
I
if you
could.
could, for sure.
I would.
That's it. How do you actually keep it a secret? Like, I would struggle so badly with that. I would really want to overshare everything. I mean, that'd be like my toxic trait. I'd be like, oh, it's this, it's this. And then how do you even begin to keep it all under wraps for 2 years? Like, what?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I needed help with that part. I was in therapy for that process. I was like, this
No
is
way.
driving
Okay.
me literally insane. Because it was so that part is the ugly side of the industry where there's not a good like method or a good concise, way of doing things. Every single project, album, song choice, it's got to be approved by like 1.5 million different departments, right? And they all have so many other artists that they're working with and things like that. So it's got to be, it has to make sense.
Mm.
And sometimes it doesn't have to just make sense to me, right? Which is so it's hard to kind of give over your creative project and
Yeah.
let someone else have the steering wheel, so to speak, right? But thankfully, we have a great team. We trust our team for as many ways as we sometimes have like not agreed with every single decision that's being made, right? Like it does work out in the end and gives us an opportunity to play some of the biggest shows ever. It allows us to go back on tour and to release music that has staying power and that has backing, right, and support. I mean, that's how we got introduced to, to you. That's how we got introduced to, you
Mm.
know, going on tour in Europe and traveling so many places in Octane and all these different things. So
Yeah.
so we're kind of forced to trust the process, even if that means sometimes we have to like, get into therapy because it's driving us crazy.
Sure. Yeah, there's so much more to it that people just don't even realize, you know? And like with this album as well, I just wondered before we kind of like wrap up and move on to the live side of things, like what are you most proud of and what was the most challenging part of making this record, this new one?
So I'm most proud that it is gonna come across like a concept album.
Mm.
It has all of the themes are so they all serve the same purpose. It very much is giving like Batman, Gotham City type vibes throughout each, down to, I was working with management on the artwork and we were, collaborating very closely with the people doing, like the music videos and all of these, they all have the same, like very much a through line on, each of the like awakening takes place in like the cityscape bedroom, right? Like
Yeah.
that's where it takes place, right? That's what my vision was for that particular track. Each track has a different location
Okay,
and that would
cool.
be kind of like the theme,
Mm.
right? And so in and you'll see once the album artwork comes out and stuff like that, it's very much it is on brand. So I'm very proud of the cohesive nature of it and how well I think that the story is told throughout the album, and throughout the entire body of work, even after this album, which, because we turned in 21 songs. You'll get them all eventually.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But,
Deluxe dish coming
yes,
soon.
yeah, right. There's more things coming, right? There's a big, we didn't just take 2 years off to give you like, 12 tracks. It's a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I do think that the most difficult part of that process is because as much as we loved writing all of these different songs, it complicated some of the things going to 3 different studios to do that.
Right.
The album one we did with our Michigan hometown boys, right? So like everything came out of the one studio. It was all very succinct, right? The process, easy peasy. Not so much when you have 3 separate studios all turning in, tracks and all these different things. Thankfully we had one person to do all of the mixing and mastering, and he did a fantastic job. Fantastic. I have never heard my vocals captured so well, right? Like Awakening was like for me next level vocal.
Which is
And
saying something because you always sound incredible, but okay.
thank you. Thank you. I could hear all of the tone and the breath and the breakup in my voice and the different things that I was, like in the room, I could hear that. But most of the time, sometimes on album one, sometimes those things were like perfected out of the track in the
Wow.
final, right,
Yeah.
mixing. Too compressed or too, I was very clear, right, and come across great, but sang more like a pop vocal, you
Yeah.
get the
Okay.
rough
Yeah.
and the real tone in
Mm.
this new record, which I love so much. Just to have more personality, more flair.
Sure.
Um, but that was complicated to get everything from all three different studios in like a timely fashion.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Because you're always having to work to deadlines as well, like whether you want to or not. There is always that element too, isn't there? So there's a lot of pressure on the time constraints, and yeah, there's just so much more to it. But you love the life. You love the life. You're in it because you love it.
That's it. That's what it is. If
Exactly.
we, I'll tell you what, there's some other perks, I guess, but there's not really like any real incentive. Like unless you love it, it's not. It's it would drive most people nuts, right? Like I
Of
come home and my
course.
family's like, I don't understand how you live out of a van for like multiple months out of the year, and I'm like,
Sure.
it's a really nice van. It's kind of new, it's got multiple bench seats. It's a 12 passenger van. That's usually where we're at. So, but
Awesome.
we love it.
That's it. Rolling large. I love that. That's bringing us on to the touring side of things because, yeah, you are out on the road with your friends in Buckcherry towards the end of this month. Is it the 26th of October to the 4th of
Yes.
November? Have I got that date right? I
Yes.
have.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah,
need to
look at
check then. I
you
was like,
on it.
but of course, people can get their tickets right. And yeah, you're back on the road with them. So, what's in store for everybody if they come out and catch your band?
You'll get some previews. We have two other new songs that we are performing. We're performing Awakening. That's definitely in the set. But there is some new other music that's in there also. So
Hmm.
you've not seen Eva Under Fire quite like this before. We have a new cool intro that we also think is very much on theme, on brand, part of the artist creative side of things. It was chosen very specifically
Hmm.
for, not just what's happening in the world, but also serves like the villain character arc that we've been talking about. So I think it's a really next level performance that people are going to get ready and have. And we've got, our friends in Buckcherry are great guys to tour with, but they gave us a pretty substantial slot time too. So I think we get to play like 45 minutes, which is pretty
That's
cool.
incredible. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Because I know I've got like friends in bands that have like been on big tours and stuff. And obviously they're so grateful for the opportunity and to be there in front of big audiences. But maybe their slot's 15, 20 minutes. And it's really difficult, isn't it, to win over a crowd or just show who you are in that time and, show such a scope of your music. So that is such an amazing time slot. Like 45
Yeah.
minutes, rock and roll. I love that.
Yeah, yeah, you'll get like a full gig, right? So yeah,
Full
so yeah,
on.
they can go to our website for tickets and all of that. But I recognize maybe that not come from the other side of the world. If you need to wait until I come to you, I get it.
Yeah,
But
which
if you're
hopefully will be
U.S.
soon.
local, come to the show.
Definitely, for sure, do that. But obviously, like you've just mentioned as well, like, you're in a van and you have to spend so much of your life on the road. And, for anybody watching who maybe thinks touring life is always so glamorous, it really isn't. And it can be really difficult. And I just wondered for you, like, how do you keep yourself like motivated, happy, energetic, energized on the road? Like, what kind of things do you like to do in the in-between moments that are maybe not so interesting?
Yeah, I think, we're foodies when we're on the road. We'll try cool new, restaurants. We also love to go to the zoo on off days just because like we are all animal
Brilliant.
lovers.
That's
So
it.
that's cool. But I think mostly it's because like you said, we do love the atmosphere. Being at the rock show is our favorite place to play, but it's also our favorite place to be. We go to
Mm.
rock shows even when we're home. So just being in that atmosphere all the time is like really super fun for us. Um, and you get, to a place too where I get to travel with all of my childhood friends. Like we've been playing together for years. So
Yeah.
I think also it matters the people that you choose to do it with, how isolated you really feel, right?
Mm.
I get to bring a piece of home with me, right? Like my husband's in the band, my lead guitar player, the other guys I've known for probably 15 years at this point. So it's just, I think that also helps because I don't feel alone when I'm out there, even when I'm
Yeah.
not home.
Yeah, that's it. Home is where the heart is, and it's a family, isn't it? When you're touring and you've been a band for so long, and yeah, I think that's great. I think it's great that you're back out on the road, and I'm so excited that you're playing, and hopefully that means you're gonna, like you say, come over this way again
Yeah,
and grace us with your presence once more.
great.
That would be amazing. And I just wondered as well, because like 45-minute sets. Now you've just mentioned that to me. That's a long time, and if you're touring, you're doing that consistently, and touring takes it out of anyone. And you're a lead vocalist too, and you're like the cheerleader of the band. You have to like be so pumped and energized. And um, I know that your Midwest neighbor, Chapel Roan, just
Yeah.
someone called Chapel
Wow.
Roan, has
Mhm.
mentioned before about how she has to like sing her entire set like while she's running on the spot, running on a treadmill, just to kind of get that cardio up and running and be prepared for tour. And I wondered, like, do you relate to that in any way? Like, what's your tour preparation like?
Yeah, it's definitely something that I have done before. Like we used to have a treadmill in the rehearsal space for me to just like walk and do practice, even live in a room with the guys. And I unfortunately that one broke. We have not replaced it yet, so I can't do that anymore. But I do get my butt in the gym, and usually about 3 months before we're going out, I'm really trying to hammer the cardio and things like that.
Mm.
Um, you know, no smoking, lots of water, no alcoholic beverages before the performance
Yeah.
because it will dry out your vocal cords.
Yeah.
Um, that just little tips and tricks like that. But I'm very grateful that like a couple of the things that were very helpful for me that I still use, like breath work training for that is like so key, right?
Mm.
I did not know that you could breathe in through your nose to open up your rib cage and then just like have that be your posture, right? Like when your
Wow,
rib
that's
cage is open, you have so much more available space to like get air in
yeah.
there and you can walk around like that and you can jump around like that and you can, right? So about, 15 minutes before we go up, I'm doing my breathing exercises usually, like more so than trying to, you know, I'll do a little couple vocal warm-ups and stuff like that if I feel like I've got like a head cold thing or if I've got like an allergy stupid thing happening, right? And I'll try to like break it up and shake.
Sure.
I've noticed that my voice is very much a rock voice.
Yeah.
Even though over the years I was scared that it was too clean to be a rock voice, now I know she's just really can be stubborn. So I have to like, full out chest voice right before the show if I have to like shake the dust off, right? But
Yeah, that's interesting. I love
yeah.
to hear that kind of stuff. That's actually really great for anyone who's like, maybe new to singing and, they're looking for advice or whatever, because there's so much more to it than like I say, than people realize, the touring side of things, but also, yeah, preparing for shows and, yeah, I mean, incredible. And, fair play to you because you have to be dedicated and you do have to sacrifice some things in order to do your passion. And yeah, so that comes back to again, you've got to genuinely love what you're doing because a lot of the time the reward is purely the fact that you get to create your art and share it with people. So yeah, you've got to love it. You've got to love what you're doing. So yeah, and also when you said the breath work, that sounds to me like quite meditative in a way as well, which can be really helpful.
Yep, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody has their own things that they do to kind of get ready or get their breath up or what, those types of things. But I think what I've learned, sustainability on the road, those are my go-tos. I also I was very fortunate to meet the people in the Hailstorm camp, and Lizzie was wonderful enough to be like, "Man, you've got pipes.
Yeah.
Here's the things that I do," and she like sent it to me, which was awesome. So I
Oh,
have some other tips and tricks that I have to still try, as
yeah.
per recommended to me from Lizzie Hill herself, which is
Yeah.
so queen, right?
How do you react as well when you find yourself like in worlds with those people and you're on a level with these people, they're like your peers now and how does that feel for you?
It's a full circle moment, that's for sure. It's very surreal most of the
Yeah.
time, and
Yeah.
and now that I've gotten to know, a couple people in our community that are like, my contemporaries and colleagues, so to speak, it becomes like a real humanizing sort of thing where I'm like, oh, they're just people too, right? But how fortunate and how lucky I am that they're not just, so human and so chill, but also have like a 20-year career to teach me things.
Sure. Yeah. Musicians helping musicians as well is so wholesome. And it's really nice that, people are willing to go, do you know what? I've learned this along the way. Here's my knowledge passed down to you. That's great. And then you can do that for other people then as well, which is wonderful.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah. Just to kind of wrap up, because I've had you for about half hour or something now.
Sure.
Just don't want to keep you too long. I know you're very, very
No,
busy
no
right
problem.
now.
Um,
Just on a bit of a wholesome note, I just wondered, what would you maybe say at this point in your career, in your life right now, knowing what you know and everything that you've learned, what would you say to young Amanda, little Amanda, and what would you say to future you?
oh, it's such a good question. Um, what I would say to younger me, be grateful that your first bandmates took your microphone stand away from you so that you stopped hiding behind it, because now people compliment our performance, how comfortable we are on stage. It was such a shy kid. I was a really shy kid.
Really?
Um, yeah, I had a lot of work to do to get over that. But, it won out that I also really liked attention once I got past the whole like embarrassment cringe part of it. And I was like, actually
Yeah.
being cringe is kind of cool. So I'm fine. Um, and then and then to my future self, I don't know. I might ask her, where did we land? Because like, how did we make it? I'm
Yeah.
just closing my eyes on a way of hope and a prayer right now.
Yeah.
How did album two go? Um, so I think there's just so many questions that I have. So I guess in that way, I feel like I've come a very long way, and I also feel like there is still so long to go.
Oh, that's so like exciting though, and
It is.
what a beautiful like way to look at it, Yeah, you've got so much more to come, and it's coming. The next
Yeah.
album is on the way,
Yeah.
so it's very, very exciting. And big congratulations once again on the new era, on the new song Awakening, which is of course out now. And good luck with the tour with Buckcherry. And please do come here to the UK and Europe as well. I'll
I
talk
would
on their
love to.
behalf, but the UK, please come. Um,
Yes.
and yeah, thank you so much for your time today. Just on a final note, I just wondered, have you got a message that you would like to send out to EVA Under Fire fans, followers, just anyone that supported you? Have you got anything you'd like to say to them? Let them know.
Oh, yeah. We would not truly still be a band if you guys were not trying to cheer us on this hard, this long. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And this new album is really for you guys too, Anybody that doesn't agree with the way that you are, the person that you are, the person that you've become, I mean, you can look at that, but you don't have to listen, right? Be you. Be
Yeah.
you.
Amanda, thank you so much for your words of wisdom and for being such a wonderful guest today. And it's been such a pleasure talking to you. And you're so lovely. So thank you so, so much. It's been a pleasure to
Oh,
meet
no.
you.
Cheers to you. It's great to meet you. Hopefully, we'll see you on your neck of the woods soon enough. Alex, thank you again for having me. Much love.
Thank
Thank
you. I hope
you.
you enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy spooky season.
Thank you. Happy
Ghost
spooky
love.
season. Much love. Ghosties. Okay.
Lots of
Bye,
love.
babe.
I am awake.